All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the August 5th meeting of the Town of Walpole Select Board. As we begin every meeting, I would ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With that, we'll call this meeting to order. And we'll move right into our first appointments here, which is the vote to appoint candidates for the position of police officer. So Chief Keller, if you could come up. All right. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for having us here today. The first candidate we have is Shane Basanti. He is a Franklin native. Went to Franklin High School, went on to get his bachelor's degree from Fitchburg State in criminal justice, and as part of that degree program, he was able to attend the police academy, which he's currently in right now with a graduation date in September. He has previous experience working as a community service officer in Nantucket, and he came highly recommended to us from that agency. So without further ado, I'll bring Shane up. Shane?
Great. How's it going, Shane?
Hello, members of the board.
How are you doing? If you could just say, a little more about yourself, Shane, your background, your interest in the position, and if the board members have any questions, we can go from there.
Sir.
Just briefly.
Sir.
Yeah.
I would like to begin by thanking all the members of the board for being here tonight, as well as everybody from the Walpole Police Department for this opportunity. My name is Shane Basanti, as the chief introduced me. I'm 22 years old. I'm from Franklin, Massachusetts. I've had a passion for policing that's brought me through internships throughout my college career. I went to Fitchburg State in order to get into the academy through their 4+1 program. I've had a passion for policing for years, and I'm really just looking forward to becoming a member of the Walpole community.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board?
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Great.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, so I would hear a motion.
Make a motion to appoint candidate Shane Basanti to the position of police officer.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4-0-0, the motion passes. Congratulations, Shane.
Congratulations.
Welcome. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. Thank you, sir.
Next we have Kyle Conlon. Kyle's a Walpole native. She went to Walpole High School, graduated from there, went on to attend UMass Boston, where she earned a degree in criminal justice with a minor in sociology. While she was at UMass Boston, she worked with the UMass Boston PD in the cadet program, where she handled various tasks related to their PD and worked under the supervision of a lieutenant over there who was well known to us, who also recommended her very highly for this position. So without further ado, Kyle.
Hey, Chief.
Hey, Kyle.
Hi.
Go ahead.
My name's Kyle. I'm from Walpole. I've lived in Walpole my whole life. Went to school for policing. Always wanted to be a police officer. Had great admiration for the police my whole life. Just want to give back to the community that served me so well.
Great. Any other questions or comments from the board?
I'll just throw out there that I've known Kyle for a few years, and the town of Walpole will be very lucky to have you on the force, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Great.
Congratulations.
Great. I'd hear a motion.
Make a motion to appoint Kyle Conlon to the position of police officer.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0-0 passes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Kyle. Congratulations. All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, great. And if everyone would like to stay for the duration of the meeting, you're more than welcome to, but you don't have to. So we'll continue with our business. If you'd like to stay, please do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Okay, as we move on to the next piece of business under appointments, we have the Community and Economic Development Director, Patrick DeShanes. Patrick, you come up.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Patrick.
Dive right into it, Pat.
What's up?
Dive right into it.
All right.
What do you got?
Our zoning bylaw review steering committee has been been working this past few months on a kind of another phase of zoning amendments to bring forward for the fall. Focus this time was on our dimensional regulations, parking, and non-conforming uses and structures. So high level, really just kind of mostly same focus, which is cleanup, reorganization, coming into compliance with state law. In a few situations, trying to remove inconsistencies and for use dimensional regulations in particular, there were a few situations that we wanted to address, which were more substantive, dealing with the use table. I think I noted them in the memo being something to do with the height for the downtown, having that be more compliant with a few of our other business districts, how that's structured, having it be based upon both height and stories. And then we wanted to correct something within our highway business district for front setback. Both those are comment related. We've had a lot of comments, especially for highway business, about, there's a 50-foot setback right there. It'd be great to reduce it. There's a reason why that was put there, to have some separation from the road, but by not allowing parking within that setback, it takes away a lot of usable property for developers as well as just business owners. So trying to find kind of a halfway measure there to keep the setback for the structure, but allow for parking within that setback. Most everything else was really, Section 9 in particular, I think I provided you just the cleaned up version. I have the strike through underline version, but you probably want to read it because it's just a lot of edits in that one that had to be completely rewritten almost. So but happy to answer any questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess first, Pat, we'd say, again, thank you for the work that the group has done on this, reviewing the zoning book. Continue to do great work there, and I know that it is a high volume of changes and a lot of detailed information that y'all have to dig through. So really appreciate everybody undertaking that effort. At this point, I would turn it over to the board if anybody had any additional questions. Tonight, we're discussing and possibly voting on, the sponsorship of these articles and to add them to the town meeting warrant. I know, Patrick, actually, before we turn it over to the board, maybe you could talk a little bit about, you've gone before the planning board with these. Yep. And they've declined to sponsor them.
Yeah, it was similar to conversation to last year.
Yep.
Just didn't feel they wanted to sponsor them.
Okay. All right. So then it's up to us as a board to sponsor them. So those are the votes that we'll be considering tonight. So any questions or comments from the board? Jim,
I
go
just
ahead.
had one on the height, the reduction of 52 feet to 50 feet under the, I'll call it the standard zoning as opposed to the MBTA Communities Act.
Yep.
My only question was, if you reduce the height from 52 to 50, does that affect any other aspect of zoning under the current regulations? Things like number of units or the retail space, or, there's a lot of calculations that go into that. And I wanted to just make sure that just by taking it down those 2 feet, we don't interfere with other things in the broader regulations.
For new construction, no. So new construction will need to fall in line with the regulation. Going from 52 to 50, kind of odd, right? Going back just down under 2 feet. But the bigger change was trying to structure it so it was 50 feet, but no more than 4 stories.
Right.
That was something that is similar language that we passed for the MBTA zoning. It's also for our business district, which we allow for mixed use. We regulate it by height and stories, and we do the same thing for highway business. So the thinking was, well, for central business district, why don't we also, have it kind of connect to the MBTA zoning so that the height is similar, and then also, like our other business districts, regulate the stories along with the height.
Yeah, and that made sense to me, but then I was thinking about the old law of unintended consequence where, making this change, there's a reason it's at 52.
Yeah.
And because I don't know what that reason is, maybe you do, but there's a reason it's at 52, and I just want to make sure that as we adjust it down,
Yeah.
the consistency thing does matter, I think, but but I want to make sure that we don't create another problem within the zoning regulations that are not part of the MBTA communities.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Overall, I think we're comfortable with the change. One thing where that could come up is if you have certain like roof structures, whether it's an HVAC system for an elevator or anything like that. Those are all exempt from height regulations to begin with, and I'm not sure, what came first, right? Did it go from 52, or did they write that exemption for excluding those structures for being counted towards the height. Overall, though, not really worried too much about, I guess, what we have for existing or how it could impact for future development. I think it's not really concerned, I guess, the best way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure I asked. Thank
Yep,
you.
understandable.
So I went through it in quite a bit of detail and noticed the two things. One was the height.
Yep.
The other was the parking. So only a 25-foot buffer, then you could start the parking lot, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in there that's people might consider to be a big deal? There were a lot of little procedural things, which
Yeah,
a lot of good cleanup, so.
Mostly cleanup. The table of use, not table of use, the dimensional, the footnotes for the dimensional use table. There were suggestions mostly to correct just footnotes that were no longer needed or were no longer properly referenced. I think footnote 11 referenced limiting the height of accessory structures within limited manufacturing districts. Well, we went over that, and it was kind of a footnote that wasn't relevant for really much of anything. And then we had a few other situations with footnote 7 and footnote 8, which were just kind of minor. Footnote 8 dealing with rear yard setback. It was inconsistent with our buffer requirements, so we wanted to make sure that was aligned with our buffer requirements. So overall, nothing that, at least that jumps out to me, that is, I guess, controversial, or those changes that I referenced are really kind of the ones that are more substantive, where everything else is really just trying to, bring it back into adding clarity and kind of putting the zoning in the right order and being consistent with state law. So.
Okay, thanks. I thought it looked good.
Yep.
Okay. Glenn, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. You want to make a motion? Yeah,
Sure,
make
go
a
ahead.
motion to sponsor the proposed zoning articles and add it to the fall 2025 town meeting warrant.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 400. So Patrick, this is kind of, I guess, the second bite at the apple, so to speak, right, of the group and making these changes in terms of the second town meeting that would be going forward? Or is it,
In terms of bringing zoning articles
yeah,
forward?
this is the second one, right?
It's the second one. The first.
How much more do we foresee as needing, like, how much longer do we foresee this going on? If you had, I mean, not to put you on the spot.
No, I mean, it really depends on how much that is comfortable to bring forward.
Okay.
If I could jump in.
Yeah.
So, on Patrick's behalf, I did
Sure.
ask him to kind of, I don't want to be too aggressive, because zoning's a lot, obviously, it takes a lot to comprehend it.
Yeah.
It's very substantial when you look at the packet. And I think originally you had come to me with maybe 5 or 6 articles. Does that sound about right for this town meeting-ish?
Yeah, I want to try to keep it based upon the section, but I
Yeah,
scale
so we're
back.
trying to group it by sections, scale it back, so it's not too overwhelming.
Right.
So I'm guessing maybe 2 more town meetings after this one,
Yeah,
Pat?
I
Ish?
mean,
Okay.
realistically, 2 is probably safe bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Section 5 in particular is the table of use.
Yep.
It's the most interconnected section of our zoning, and it's something that would probably need to be broken up into different articles. So that almost would work as its own, for a
Effort,
town
its
meeting,
own effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And in terms of, like, we're cleaning it up as we go along, we're, clarifying it, we're modernizing it. Is there at any point going to be other more substantive changes that you'd anticipate, or that the committee would anticipate?
Yeah, no, we've talked about it, and that is something that I think is needed, at least to be discussed in a few sections.
Okay.
Parking for one. I mean, most of our changes to the parking are really just cleanup, but that could
Okay.
also take a closer look at, is that consistent with current practices? I don't have a clear answer on when we're going to take a more look on
Yeah.
substantive changes. I think a lot of
Okay.
it kind of comes up when it's brought up, but
Okay.
part of the focus of the project right now is at least, we've conducted the audit, we've conducted the zoning diagnostics,
Yeah.
and the cleanup process that hasn't actually happened before. So trying to get there first and then,
Okay, see how it goes.
yeah.
All right, and that's great, and I certainly, not something we want to rush, and as Jim said, and you've alluded to, Patrick, it can get complicated, and so we want to bring it to town meeting in a way that is digestible and people understand what they're voting for. Agree with that wholeheartedly, but I know that, you know, the folks on the subcommittee with you, you know, put a lot of time and effort into it, so we do want to be able to say, hey, this is an effort that's going to take, you know, so long, it's not into perpetuity or whatnot.
Yeah.
But that's great, okay. Well, we look forward to discussing these items further as we get closer to town meeting, so thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Patrick.
All right, moving on to new business, we have a vote to award bid contract for cleaning and redevelopment of the gravel-packed wells. Jim, you want to give a little background on that?
Sure, this is bid out back in July, July 30th. One bid was received by Weston and Sampson for $124,950. Obviously, we have a long-standing relationship with Weston and Sampson, so we're comfortable with the background there. So I'd recommend favorable action on bid contract number 26-01, cleaning and redevelopment of gravel-packed wells to Weston and Sampson.
Do you happen to know how many wells are being cleaned? It's okay if you don't. I just,
How many wells off the top of your head?
oh, I didn't see you, Rick. Okay, hey, great, thanks.
Thanks,
Sorry, we
Rick.
got
I was over there before, and he moved. Thought he left.
Johnny on the spot.
All right, we're good.
And any other questions from the board?
Nope.
Okay, Glenn?
I'll make a motion to award bid contract 2026-01 to Weston and Sampson CMR Inc.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 400, motion passes. Thank you, Jim. We are not quite at the time for open forum, so we would continue to the consent agenda, Glenn.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent items as listed on the August 5th agenda.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 400, motion passes. Minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of July 15th, 2025 as presented.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 400, the motion passes. Jim, would you
Sure.
like to jump into the TA update?
Sure. So a couple items here. Walpole Co-op clock, the 300th anniversary clock. Excuse me, we're moving forward with that. We're working with the company, and they've advised that it should be ready to be installed in mid-November. We're going to be installing it over near the common that has the firefighters memorial and the Bird Basovich fountain right there. Center it so it can be seen by all as you come through the center. It won't be overcrowded or anything, so we're on track with that. The food pantry, just a quick update on the food pantry. I know at the last meeting we had an extensive discussion with them. I am working with our department heads to figure out what exactly we need. There was a bit of confusion. One, the A&R that was submitted referenced 211 acres when the parcel that the DPW site on is 26 acres. That parcel, the deed for that goes back 100+ years when it was initially gifted to the town. So we just want to make sure we cover all of our bases and not rush into anything. And normally on an A&R, you look at it and say, yes, no, we can subdivide the lot. It has enough frontage so to not make the other one non-conforming. But this one being such a large lot, part of the town forest, part of the DPW, part of the well protection areas, part of the 1385 Washington Street, which also includes the treatment center for the Delaney treatment plant at 1303. So there's a lot of moving pieces here, and I want to make sure I'm comfortable with the information before I put it in front of you in the form of a memo. So we're working through it. It hasn't fallen by the wayside. Finances, Jody's officially closed out the books for FY25. She submitted the free cash and retained earnings certification to the DOR yesterday, which is great. She's always one of the first in the state that submits it to them. They always make note of that. They already have a few questions for her, but I'm optimistic we'll get the certifications next week or two since we're in there so early. So great job on there. Town meeting, we have that's going to be held on October 20th. We confirmed that the auditorium's booked for the middle school, and we have just about 10 articles right now. Most of them being capital articles to address the various capital needs of the town, the water and sewer departments. I expect we'll probably have a borrowing on there for water and sewer. I don't believe we're going to need a general operational for the town budget, any borrowing there. We're working through it. I think you'll be really impressed with the list that department heads submitted and what we're going to be able to fund this year. So that's it for me.
Great. Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, how's the high school coming along? I know the science classrooms need to be ready and,
So it's
A short
progressing
amount
well.
of time. Okay.
I think I mentioned in one of my updates, early July I was a bit nervous. We had some hiccups on the site as far as mostly fire safety issues and some building safety issues, but contractor was responsive. Alan Hoover and Jim Crowley have been doing a great job working with them through all the little public safety miscellaneous stuff, but we're on track as it stands right now. I have talked to Superintendent Goff and Principal Bush about make sure you have a contingency plan just in case, but I'm optimistic we really won't need to dip into that. Last time I walked through there, the cabinets were going in the science wing, some of the walls were getting painted, plaster was up and getting sanded, and so pre-treated. So I think we're going to be okay. It's going to be tight, but I think we'll make it. Yeah.
how about the parking lot at the high school and the street work sidewalks over at the middle school?
So as far as the high school, we're going to be, we're already talking about striping it and numbering it. It's going to be all set for the kids. It's going to be a little messy because it won't be finalized,
Understood,
but
yeah.
it'll be in the condition that we needed to have student parking there, teacher parking. And over at the middle school, that got delayed. It was supposed to start this week, but I think they had some weather issues on Thursday and Friday last week that got pushed east. That pushed East Street back a little bit, but they're still progressing well. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Anything to add, Rick?
No, you see a lot of construction around the middle school, sidewalks on Washington Street being done, East Street's all dug out. To Jim's point, they're going to pave the sidewalk on the rear side of the school, on the rear side of the athletic field, between East Street. That was supposed to have happened last week. Contractor, Wiggly had a delay. This week, our contractor had a delay, so we're hoping to get it done this week. It's moving along fairly quickly.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rick. Go ahead.
Just a quick comment. You haven't mentioned this, but just caught my attention in the consent agenda. The Roger Turner estate donated $174,000 plus to the Conservation Fund account, which is all positive news. Can you just remind me, or maybe talk about that for just a brief moment? Roger Turner was a great man in Walpole, and it makes sense that he would do this. But then also what the Conservation Fund account is.
So it was a really pleasant surprise when Aoife mentioned to me, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, that he had put in for that. No one had made mention of it. We didn't know it was coming. The most recent one I think we've done to use some funds was up off of North Street right there to do, it was only $10,000 to buy the money from, I think it was New England Forestry we bought it from. So we could have access down to all the way to the lake there. So they do some projects like that. We did another one that was a landlocked parcel up near Adams Farm. So that money will go towards, and it's overseen by the Conservation Commission. But this office works with them to ensure that legally we can purchase the land and that it's deed restricted and all those necessary. But those are the most recent.
Yeah, and I didn't know about those, and those make sense. Small things, but it gives them the opportunity. I know there's some money in that account now, but not nearly that much, so it more than doubles what's already there. I would be interested in hearing from Landis or anybody on the Conservation Commission if they have anything on their radar, if you happen to talk to
I'll
anybody.
mention for sure.
Good news.
Yeah, good highlight, Glenn. Thanks for bringing that up. Very good. All right, so with the time being past 7:20, if there is anybody here for open forum? Nobody here for open forum to speak? Then I believe that it is it for our agenda for this evening.
I can make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Great.
second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I have one last thing. I'm so sorry.
Stand by.
No,
Belay that motion.
I'm not plugging Norwood
Not yet.
Day, but we received a flyer in the office today for Norwood Day on September 6th. The reason I'm mentioning it is because they're having a rally for the hospital on Norwood Common from 11 to 12. They've encouraged surrounding communities to send representatives. If I'm there that day, I'll certainly probably take my son over and we'll kill some time. But
What was the date again?
September 6th from 11 to 12 on the Norwood Town Common.
Is that a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
on
we
the
need
town
no one
common,
else
not
to
at the
vote.
hospital. It's on the
No,
town
it's at the Town Common.
Makes sense,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
There'll be a lot of people out there. I think one of the selectmen stopped in today, was it?
I think it was just a member of the committee.
Oh, okay, so, sorry.
Yeah, no, great. All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion 4000. We are adjourned. Have a good evening, everyone.